Fellow Coloradans and distinguished guests. My name is Amanda Sandoval, and I am the daughter of Denver. I have the honor of representing Northwest Denver, District 1, North Side. I also have the honor of serving as the President Pro Tem of Denver City Council. My district covers vibrant neighborhoods in Northwest Denver, and I am humbled and honored to introduce a true trailblazer, a hero of mine, Vice President Kamala Harris. It is a privilege to welcome her to Denver, that is culturally rich, diverse community that we all call home. Family is so central to me and all of us here. It is a deep source of pride and a core part of our identity. For as long as I've been alive, our family has owned and operated La Casita restaurant in Denver's Highland neighborhood. All y'all know those delicious tamales, right? It first opened its doors in 1974, and to this day, it remains a staple of our community in Denver and in Denver's North Side. The restaurant produces around 12,000 homemade tamales from scratch daily. Some of the earliest memories I have, and my sisters and my family have, are involved in making tamales with our grandma, our aunts, and uncles. And it's where we learned our value of hard work, community, and so much more. Since the beginning, La Casita has just been more than a restaurant. It's been a gathering place. It's been a place for us to come to talk about community, politics for any of those who knew my father, and make a lot of decisions. Providing this type of gathering place was important goal of our father, who knew from his own childhood experience right here in East Denver segregation. He had to use the back door to many establishments. He had segregated water fountains. Parks were not open to the brown and black people in the community that he grew up here, right here in East Denver. And he would tell my sisters and I and our family about these stories of growing up in a segregated Denver. Throughout our lifetimes, our parents worked to promote greater inclusivity. Our mother, who's here in the crowd, so thank you, Mom, for being here with us, devoted herself to social justice. Thank you so much, Mom, for showing us the path and paving the way in such hard, dedicated work. Our father, in addition to running the restaurant, served proudly in the Colorado Senate. I do my best to continue their legacy in Denver City Council, and a big part of my work representing Denver in the last 5 years has been preserving our heritage. Until recently, 4%, let me repeat that, only 4% of the city's historic properties were connected to underrepresented communities. Only 4%. Until last year, where we at City Council successfully designated La Raza Park as the third cultural historic district in Denver. Woohoo! This ensures that La Raza Park, which has deep memories and meaning to all in Denver, because La Raza means the people. That's what we're here for, is for the people. Will remain preserved in the community for years to come. In my work, I often refer to things for the next 7 generations. This idea has a double meaning to me. First, it refers to the 7 generations who came before us. It was their sacrifice, their perseverance in the face of discrimination that made it possible for those of us living here today, for me to be represented on City Council, for me to have 5 other Latinas serving alongside us on City Council, and it's their shoulders that we stand on here today. But the second meaning that I often refer to and think of is the 7 generations who will come after us. What is the legacy we are leaving behind for them, for my 2 children who are here with me today, for my niece who lives with us? We are building their future. And how are we improving their future? This afternoon, we are graced by a leader who is the pride of generations that came before her and a model for generations to come after. I am talking, of course, about Vice President Kamala Harris. Yeah, right? One day we'll have a white woman here. Vice President Harris is a trailblazer who has been historic in so many firsts. The first Black woman district attorney in California, the first Black woman to be California's Attorney General, the first Indian American senator, and now the first Black woman and Asian American to serve as Vice President. Woohoo! Throughout her career, she has been a leader on so many key issues. And as I mentioned, as a daughter of a restaurant owner, I am especially grateful for Vice President Harris' work to champion our community's small businesses, right? It's small businesses that are the thread and the foundation of great cities. As you know, under the Biden-Harris administration, we have seen a growth in Latino-owned businesses. In fact, Latino business ownership is up 40%. This success has been made possible thanks to the Biden-Harris administration. Investment in community banks to increase access to capital for entrepreneurs. A major portion of this funding has come from a program first proposed by Vice President Harris when she was a senator. This is just one of the so many ways that Vice President Harris has showed up and fights for our communities. It is truly, and I mean truly, an honor of ours and Denver's and mine to have such a principled fighter, a true breaker of barriers with us here today. All right, people, my fellow Coloradans, my fellow Denverites, please join me in welcoming Vice President Kamala Harris. Thank you for your service.
Thank you. Hello, Colorado. Hi, everyone. I'll take that. Thank you all. Thank you. Yes, we will have 4 more years. Yes, we will. Let me just start by thanking Amanda. The councilwoman is such a fighter, and she's so fierce, and we spend a little time in the back together. But really, she's just emblematic of all of the leaders who are here, and many of whom I've known for many years. And so I want to thank you all for what you do every day. This state is so important. Colorado is so important, and you will be part of deciding the future of our country. And so I thank all the leaders who are here for the time and the effort that you put into this. I want to thank the mayor, Mr. Mayor. Thank you for welcoming us to Denver, and he met me on the tarmac when I landed on Air Force Two. I want to thank the mayor. Governor Polis, again, met me there, and I just saw him in D.C. a couple weeks ago. And he's been a true fighter and a powerful fighter for the people of Colorado and a great friend to the president and me. So let's get started. As you all may know, my mother came to the United States when she was 19 years old by herself. And my mother had 2 goals in her life: to raise her 2 daughters, my sister Maya and me, and to end breast cancer. She was a breast cancer researcher. And because of the fact that my mother never asked anyone for permission to pursue her dreams, within 1 generation, I stand before you as Vice President of the United States. And like everyone here, it's a shared experience. My mother raised my sister and me to understand the value of hard work, the importance of community, and the responsibility we each have to have some level of concern and care about the suffering of other people, and then to do something about it. I was raised, like I know we all were, to understand that part of the strength of character is to be concerned about the well-being or the suffering of other people, and then take it upon yourself to do something about it. And I will tell you, with your support, that is an approach that President Joe Biden and I have taken on for the last 3 years. Because in 2020, you all told us we've got to do something, for example, to lower health care costs, especially insulin for our seniors. For far too many years, too many of our seniors have had to make a choice between either filling a prescription that a doctor recommended to save their life or filling their refrigerator. And Latinos, of course, are 70% more likely to be diagnosed with diabetes. Because you organized and because you voted, President Biden and I have now capped the cost of insulin for our seniors at $35 a month. And we finally, many tried, but none other did, are now allowing Medicare to negotiate against the pharmaceutical companies for drug prices, so that we have capped the annual cost of prescription medication for seniors at $2,000 a year. And when we win re-election, we are going to cap the cost for everyone. In 2020, you said we need to do more to deal with the issue of student loan debt. People are struggling. And because you organized and because you voted, President Biden and I have canceled nearly $138 billion in student loan debt for more than 4 million people in our country. On average, more than $30,000 per person. And for public servants, I know there are a lot of teachers here, teachers, firefighters, God love you. The amount that's been forgiven is almost double that of $30,000. In 2020, and by the way, y'all don't make enough money as it is. And what do? The most noble work that anyone could do, which is to take on a life that's about teaching other people's children. I thank you. Can we give it up for our teachers? Come on. There we go. In 2020, you organized and you said, look, we need to take on the issue of gun violence. That gun violence is now the #1 killer of children in America. Understand, not car accidents, not some form of cancer. Gun violence is now the #1 cause of death for children in America. And Latinos are twice as likely to be the victims of gun violence. So to keep our communities safe, President Biden and I passed the first major gun safety law in nearly 30 years. And in my leadership as the head of the White House Council on Gun Violence Prevention, and in memory of Columbine, Aurora, Uvalde, and Club Q, we continue, and we all continue, to fight for an assault weapons ban, universal background checks, and red flag laws. And we will keep fighting. And we just need to win back the House, hold on to the Senate, and we will be a step closer to getting where we know we need to be. Colorado in 2020, you said our immigration system has been broken for years and it needs to be fixed. And we also know, and it's the story of so many here, America is a nation of immigrants. Generation after generation, immigrants have made our nation stronger. So President Biden and I are fighting to secure a pathway for citizenship, including for dreamers and families, and to make our immigration system more orderly and humane. And earlier this year, many of you were watching it happen. Sadly, we were watching it happen. Earlier this year, while we helped lead a strong bipartisan border security bill, a bill that would have given nearly $1.5 billion to support cities and states, the Republican leadership in Congress will not put it up for a vote. And you know why? Because Donald Trump told them not to. Because it is clear that while we want to fix a problem, they want to run on a problem because they got nothing else to run on. And mind you, Donald Trump telling them not to put it up for a vote, the same person who separated families, separated children from their parents, the same person who tried to end DACA, young people who otherwise have been serving in our military, working in Fortune 500 companies, and contributing to the strength of our nation. And if he is reelected, the former president has openly vowed to carry out, quote, and I'm quoting, the largest not democratic at all. That was a typo. The largest domestic deportation operation in American history. And that is not all. If he is reelected, the former president has openly said he intends to weaponize the Department of Justice against his enemies. He has openly called for cuts to Social Security and Medicaid and Medicare. He openly says that he is, quote, proud that he overturned Roe v. Wade. Proud that doctors and nurses can now be jailed for providing care. Proud that young women today have fewer rights than their mothers and grandmothers. He openly talks about his admiration for dictators. He vowed he will be a dictator on day one. You know, the great Maya Angelou once said, when someone tells you who they are, believe them the first time. Well, the former president has told us who he is. And it's on us then. It's on us then to recognize the threat he poses, because it will be no surprise if it happens. It's on us. And let us recognize that in addition to him, there are extremists across our country who have been incited, encouraged, and even cowered by the former president. Just look at states around our nation where we witness a full-on attack on hard-fought, hard-won fundamental freedoms. The freedom to vote, the freedom to be safe from the horror of gun violence, the freedom to be who you are, love who you love openly and with pride, the freedom of a woman to make decisions about her own body and not having the government tell her what to do. And on that point, I think we are all clear. One does not have to abandon their faith or deeply held beliefs to agree. The government should not be telling her what to do. Attacks on fundamental freedoms. And understand, and especially I say this to the young leaders who are here today, understand, it does not have to be this way. It does not have to be this way. When we win majorities in the United States Congress, and Congress passes a bill that reinstates the protections of Roe v. Wade, Joe Biden will sign it into law. When we win, we will also raise federal minimum wage, which is currently a poverty wage. We will secure a pathway to citizenship, including for dreamers and families, and invest in affordable child care and paid family leave and affordable housing. So ultimately, here's the deal as I see it. In this election, we each face a question. What kind of country do we want to live in? What kind of country do we want to live in? Do we want to live in a country of liberty, freedom, and rule of law, or a country of disorder, fear, and hate? And each of us has the power to answer these questions in so many ways, including at the ballot box. So Colorado, in this election, let us together fight for our freedoms, for individuality, for self-determination, for dignity for all people. Let us fight for our democracy, and born out of our love of country, let us fight for the promise of America. And you know what? When we fight, we win! God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.